So today I'm going to recite the glossary. So abiogenesis, the doctrine that living things originated from non-living matters, acquired character, an alteration in function and form resulting from a response to environment, and is not heritable. So additivity, the basics from most quantitative inheritance theory and for most breeding efforts. So affinity, the similarity between entities in regard to orphological traits. So albino and individual characterized by the absence of pigment, and allele, an array of genes possible for a certain position on a given chromosomes. So alloploidy. So ploidy in which sets of chromosomes are derived from different parents, generally not closely related. So ancestry refer to those are member of past generation which are related to any given species by a descent. So an euploidy, a variation of chromosomes numbered by a whole chromosomes but less than the entire sets. So anisogamy, sexual reproduction involving gametes, similar in morphology but different in size. So artificial selection, the result of a conscious breeding of plants by man for the goal of improving forest crops. So asexual reproduction, any process of reproduction that does not involve fusion of cell. So backcross breeding, a system of breeding whereby a recurrent backcrosses are made to one of the parents of a hybrid accompanied by selection for a specific character. So binary fission, a type of reproduction wherein single-celled organisms divides into two theoretically equal parts. So biogenesis, the doctrine that living things originated only from pre-existing living things. Bisexual plant, a plant having both male and female sexual reproductive structure on one individual. So breeding per bottom refers to all selected trees or species established for breeding purposes. So character, an attribute of an organism resulting from the interaction of genes with the environment, and character displacement, the process of genetic divergence of two or more species when they come into contact. So chromatid pertains to one of the two identical longitudinal halves of chromosomes which shares a common centromere. So chromatin, a nuclear material comprising the chromosome, the DNA protein complex or nucleoprotein. So cline, a gradual and more or less continuous change in phenotypic character over the age of over the geographical range of species. So clonal selection, the manner of choosing the best clones in a clonal test for further sexual propagation. Clone, an aggregation of individual plants produced sexually from one sexually produced individual. So conjugation, the transfer of genetic materials from one bacteria to another when two compatible cells come in contact with each other. So controlled pollination. So the transfer of pollen from known source to erupted a flower of known and parents. And next, cultivar. refers to plant type within a particular cultivated species that is distinguished by one or more characters. So cytogenetics, a study of cellular structures and mechanics associated with genetics. So deoxyribonucleoside, a portion of a DNA molecule composed of one deoxyribose molecule plus either a purine or pyrimidine. So deoxyribonucleotide is a portion of a DNA molecule um, composed of one deoxyribose phosphate bonded to either a purine or pyrimidine. So the hybrid, an individual heterozygous for two pairs of alleles of a cross between individuals and differing in two genes pairs. So direct selection, the manner of choosing the parent of the basis of desirability in the traits under consideration as choosing the tallest tree to improve a growth rate. So dominance, the masking of the action of one allele by that of its alternative allele. So double fertilization, the process in which each of the two sperms nuclei formed in the pollen tube fuses with a nucleus in the embryo sac. So duplication, a chromosomal aberration in which a segment of the chromosomes bearing a specific allele is repeated. So, so this genetics, so any effect of situation tends to be a harmful to genetics of future generations. So elite tree, a tree verified by appropriate testing as highly superior or desirable for a specified environment and propagation system. So emasculation, the removal of immature male structure to prevent self-pollination or unwanted cross uh, pollination. So epistasis, the masking of phenotypic effect of either or both members of one pair of alleles by a gene of different pair. So eugenic, the process of tending to improve the genetic qualities of future generations. And evolution, so the development of a race, species, genus, or other large group of plants or animals. Expressivity, the degree of manifestation of the genetic character. So family selection, the manner of choosing parents on the basis of average family performance in a progeny test. Fitness, the relative ability of a genotype to survive and produce a viable and fertile offspring. So gene, the smallest transmissible unit of genetic materials consistently associated with a single primary effect.